This is Josiah Plays The Elder Scrolls Online Thieves Guild DLC. I'm here with Sato's buddy Quen. Quen the NPC. Get sneaky. It's always an awkward stream when someone feels the need to say, I wouldn't rape anyone or hurt any children. Well, I mean, you have to have a line. Everyone has their own line. That's mine. Most people, I would say, probably have a line further back than that, with more things prohibited, probably, but not me.
Whoa, that's one clever thing, but not clever enough.
We've got ourselves a little puzzle here. Okay. Well, let's look around. There's a horn. We've got a horn, a skull, and a pick. Your line is the border set by the light of Quen. Well, a lot of guys, you ask them, a lot of people, you ask them, would you kill somebody for money? And they'd say no immediately, right? They don't even think about how much money it could be, or what the circumstances are, or who the person they'd be killing. They just say no right out the gate. And I think that some of those people are lying to themselves, and some of them are genuinely sincere, and they have searched themselves and know themselves, and can sincerely say that they wouldn't. But I think most people are probably just bullshitting themselves because they want to believe they're the kind of person that would never kill somebody under any circumstances. Or at least not for money. Most guys, if you ask them, obviously, most straight guys is what I mean. If you ask them, would you suck dick for money? They would be like, no, I would never suck dick for any amount of money. I would. Wouldn't even cost that much, honestly. I've never done it, but I'm not averse to it to the point where I wouldn't do it if offered an acceptable compensation. Would you blow up a building full of people? Well, are there kids in there? No kids. Okay. Let's talk about this. That would cost a lot. I'd need a lot of money for that. But it's not off the table. Just saying. You have to decide for yourself what you will and won't do. But don't just let... Now that we've transitioned to Josiah's Kids Show, as Sato says, listen, kids, don't let anyone else tell you what you should and shouldn't be willing to do. Don't just automatically take the default set of forbidden behaviors from your society and your parents and your school and your church and apply them to yourself without thinking about them. Without comparing them against your own lived life experience. Just because a lot of things are said to be wrong doesn't mean that they would be wrong for you in a given situation. Now that's easier for me to say because of the life experience that I've had. A person who's had a sheltered life and has never been placed in a situation where they felt they had to do terrible things can really easily stick to that idea in their head that I would never do terrible things. But somebody who has done terrible things out of a sense at the time of necessity can pretty easily say, yeah, a situation could easily arise in which I would do such things or even worse things again. You set fire to an apartment building full of people without getting any compensation. Yeah, see? Son's ready to commit atrocities. Anonymous says, many people who say what Joe says fool themselves too. Doing those things in abstract, not the same as when you're about to do it. That's true, actually. You've got a good point there, Anonymous. You do have a good point there. It is very easy to lie to yourself about things you think you would do and then wouldn't be able to do them in this situation as well. I don't believe that's the case for me because I know what I've done already. But it's probably the case for a lot of people. And you're right. I probably wouldn't do anything. Like I mentioned blowing up a building full of people. I probably wouldn't do that. No matter what. Realistically, in the situation, I'd probably be like, no, I can't do this. This is too much. Killing one person, okay, fine. Blowing up a building full of innocent, well, innocent is a funny word, isn't it? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with these tumblers. I need to look around here seriously and try to figure out what's up with the tumblers. Looking for patterns, looking for symbols, looking for something which will indicate to me how I should handle that. And if I don't find any such thing, I'll simply start brute forcing it and stumble across it. Well, I don't see any clues to speak of. So let's just open sesame. No? Okay. Look on the drawers you moved. Oh, there's a horn. Yeah, I did see that. And then there's a candle and then there's a skull. We don't have a candle here, but maybe if I go horn, upside down pick to represent the candle. Oh, it is a candle! That's not a pick. I thought it was a pickaxe, but it's just a little holder with a candle in it instead. Boy, it sure looks a hell of a lot like a pickaxe, though. Alright, well, yeah, it's pretty obvious now.
Did you hear a click? I heard a click. Come on, let's go find the Geovessan skull.
Alright, Quinn's getting all excited. He's cooked food on a shovel. One day you'll taste a shovel dish, Saito. The seed is planted in your head. Pretty sure you couldn't kill anyone for any amount of money because you kind of tried once? Well, okay. It's good that you know that about yourself. I envy you, in fact. Alright, here we are. I don't see any guards or anything. That's never a good sign. They made it only 27 combinations for players like Joe. Well, okay. In fairness, I was confused by the candle thing. I thought it was a pickaxe, so I was looking for some kind of pickaxe or pickaxe symbology and not seeing it. Forgot how to play this game. Well, many things get easier, much easier after you've at least done them once. I'll take the Breton motif. Steal from... Oh, finally I get something worth something. A Jath Soger Social Club pin. Before falling out with their Wood Orc cousins, visitors from Orsinium received this gold pin depicting a fortress on a hill. I don't want that. Still don't see any people. I feel like I'm about to have a moment.
It is. It's so shiny.
I feel like I'm about to have a moment where fucking the lights come on and Jabba the Hutt is laughing at me. Pirate ship model. Its brass nameplate identifies this intricately detailed model of a Malmer pirate vessel, the Wandering Gale. But you know, honestly, it's been so many years since I've done so many things that I guess I can't say for sure if I'd still be able to do them. Would I even break into a house nowadays? Would I rob a bank? People do change. Now that I'm an old guy who's been very well behaved for years and years, many years. Boz Landing Merchant Lords Volume 1. Alright, I need to read that. Because the Boz Landing is where we're going. I'll wait a little bit though. He didn't die. A cobblestone, huh? You couldn't actually do it, so you beat him in the gut instead? Hey, Boss Pie! And what did this guy do to facilitate or precipitate this particular assault? There's the Geovessan skull. In here, though. I can't take those swords. You're not liking the Twitch update for the mobile app? I've never used the mobile app, so I don't know what it's like. Okay, this is the room I came from. Triumph of the Sep Adder. This is about Boz Landing 2. Strakes and Footox. Learning about woodworking. The cellar. That sounds pretty terrible, son. So why a cobblestone? Did this thing just kind of happen spur of the moment? You weren't expecting it? Oh no, I don't want this. Get out of here, ginger wheat beer. Get in my belly. Ah, authenticity of the Geovessan skull. Honorable Thane Fulstrom. Though the events of 2920 are largely fictional in nature, the seed of truth has borne fruit in the form of the Geovessan skull. It is indeed the gold-dipped and gem-encrusted cranium of Tavia, famously imprisoned in Castle Geovess at the behest of Emperor Reman III. Whispers that the Geovessan skull is a false relic appeared to have been spread by a previous owner in Hammerfell, no doubt to discourage the attempted theft of such a valuable piece of history. I hereby certify the Geovessan skull as authentic. All rumors claiming the source skull was from a condemned Breton prisoner are just that. Rumor. Mercator Mannix, Imperial Historian. Man. You were bashed in the head with a stone? I've been hit in the head with a rock before. Just like the computer version, but now it's just a mess. So that sucks, Boss Pie. Sounds on story time. Predictable from his comings and goings. Prized up a cobblestone and went... Why a cobblestone, though? What? So you actually tracked him down and... Man. You actually jumped him on purpose. Once again, son, our life stories find themselves very similar. The reasoning was different in my case and result as well, but things happen in life. And especially when you're living a certain lifestyle, you're putting yourself in certain situations, and then it increases the likelihood that things will happen. Now, obviously, I don't know what your legal system is like. You seem to have no problem confessing to pretty serious crimes, but I don't know if you've got a statute of limitations that's protecting you. Almost all the things I've ever done are under statute of limitations, so I can talk about them without fear of any potential legal ramifications because they were so long ago, but I certainly wouldn't openly confess to any crimes that don't fall under a statute of limitations. Even though I know that realistically nothing's gonna happen if I did. But a cobblestone. Taking it old school. I can honestly say I've never beaten anybody with a cobblestone. Geovessan skull. Alright, are we ready to steal this? I feel like shit's gonna go crazy as soon as I touch this thing. I feel like we're about to have problems as soon as I touch this fucking skull. But we're gonna go for it. Ben and I made it into the treasury. The Geovessan skull is here. All we need to do is steal it. You did your time. You did your time for what, though? You didn't do your time for beating a guy almost to death with a cobblestone, I assume. I mean, in America, you would have been charged with attempted murder for that. Remember that beef-related crimes equal no statute of limitations? I have never mistreated a cow, Knox. You're right. One more thing to go past my line. I wouldn't rape anybody, I wouldn't harm children, and I wouldn't harm cows. There you go. I forgot to say that earlier, obviously. Figured it went without saying. Went without saying. Alright, here we go. Follow Quen's lead, Saito's so happy right now.
Surrender, thief! The manor is surrounded.
Knew it.
Today the Iron Wheel brings you to justice.
I don't like the sound of that.
Who are you?
Chief Inspector Ranbeek, we foiled your attempt to steal the Geovessan skull. Will you also confess to stealing Magnifica Felora's dowry?
What's a Felora?
Oh shit.
See, it doesn't matter. Return the Geovessan skull and surrender, or face the consequences.
No idea what he means. I'll follow your lead.
Aren't we trying to do this without violence? Because let's just go in the cellars. Why can't I open this? Alright, I guess the doing it without violence phase is over. Is that Keith? I don't know. I don't recognize that name as coming from the planet Earth. Where'd Quen go? Oh, she says, I'll find another way out. She's abandoning me! Hold them off, I'll find another way out. Abandoned me, Quen. Yes, Zweihander Rogue makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. It's kind of my favorite archetype. The sneaky barbarian type rogue. The sneaky barbarian rogue. The best. It's a Polish name. That's actually what I guessed in my head. I was about to say, is it Polish? But then I thought, if it's not Polish, I might sound like a dick saying, is it Polish? Using this game's version of Quen while following Quen. It's Quenception. And it's a Polish name. Okay. Go into the cellar. Let's talk to Quen. Figure out what's going on. I should speak with Quen. Maybe she has answers. Quen has the answers for me. Again, Saito's gotta be so happy. You pronounce it Sarabaika? Well, I still don't know who that is.
Who was that? What was all that about with dowries and iron wheels?
Quen is so lying to me. She is guilty of that shit, and she's trying to play innocent now. I have no idea. Did you tell anyone we were coming here?
Nobody. Well, I sent word to the Thieves Guild of Abar's Landing. They were interested in acquiring the Geovessan skull. Abar's Landing was to be our next stop. But why would this iron wheel set an ambush here? Are you certain you've never heard of them?
Did you tell anybody? She's like, no, I mean, I've been live tweeting our entire heist, but other than that... Oh, Quen, you're lying, Quen. Quen, I know you're lying. Never. But we can figure out who they are after we escape. You don't trust people with names shorter than 5 letters? That's a solid policy. Solid policy.
Of course, you're right. The iron wheel could return at any moment. We need to get out of here, and fast. Wait, did you hear that?
Hear what?
There's someone coming.
Oh,
Who
it's an
are you?
Argonian.
You don't know me yet, but I'm a friend.
Wait.
Isn't it? Put on this uniform and head outside. The iron wheel won't detain a Windhelm guard.
There's no way I'm leaving here without my partner.
I only had one uniform. Go on, recover your boat and meet us by the catacomb exit. Then we can return to the Thieves Guild in Abar's Landing.
You're from the Thieves Guild? All right. I'll meet you both by the exit. Good luck, partner.
Oh, I have a... Maybe she isn't.
She'll be fine. Looks like we take the dangerous way around.
Maybe she isn't the betrayer. Maybe this guy, this clever Argonian, just set her up to get screwed. Alright, let's talk, Walk Softly. I love Argonians. My character loves Argonians. She's a scale banger. What do you think? I just coined that just now. Do you think scale banger is an acceptable slang term for somebody who fucks Argonians? Who isn't an Argonian?
Didn't realize there were two of you. Next time the iron wheel springs a trap, I'll bring another uniform.
Who are you? What's going on?
I'm Walk Softly, and we're currently fleeing the iron wheel. We can talk about the details once we've actually fled. Oh, what are your thoughts on spiders?
Oh, damn it. Really? We gotta go through spiders now? Alright. At least I have an Argonian with me. Although I don't like his clothes. This is not how Argonians dress. Not to profile you or anything, walk softly. Oh, what? All Argonians dress the same? I'm dressed the way Argonians dress. Spiders, what do you mean?
When I was posing as one of the manor's guards, one of the actual guards mentioned these old catacombs. Said there were a basket full of spiders. Unless that's an obscure Nord expression, I'm guessing he meant actual spiders.
Sato says, if Quinn was a huge dick or something, that'd be one thing, but thus far, she's been useful, helpful, and kind. Okay, look, Sato. The people that are gonna betray you are always useful, helpful, and kind before they betray you. That's the first sign that somebody's gonna betray you, is if they're useful, helpful, and kind for seemingly no reason. It's a delicate matter to find slurs for lizard men that don't apply to cat men. Well, I don't want slurs for lizard men. I like lizard men. Cat men slurs are fine. Because fuck cat people, honestly. You know who are some weirdos? Furries. Look, if anybody here is a furry, I'm sorry, don't mean to offend you. No offense! We talked about this the other day, how ludicrous it is to say no offense when you know that you've just willingly said something offensive. But, please don't take offense to this offensive thing. But, I think furries are pretty creepy. We talked about how some people don't follow the racial dennery. Yes, but that's just nonsense, though. It's nonsense. The opposite of sense. You said you were from the Thieves Guild. What is that?
Nothing we should discuss right here. But I promise, as soon as we've escaped the Iron Wheel, I'll answer your questions.
Man, the Iron Wheel is a pretty intimidating name for a law enforcement outfit. It conjures to mind all kinds of terrible things, right? Like, you don't want to get caught by something called the Iron Wheel, because they are going to fuck your shit up after they catch you with a name like that. I think furries don't limit themselves to animals with fur. Yeah, I know. They want to fuck all kinds of weird shit. Birds and everything. I don't... See you later, Sin. Thanks for coming by. Have a good one. You remember seeing some claiming to be a dragon? Okay. Isn't there like a term for people who believe that they are actually some kind of non-human being? Like otherkin or something? Is that a thing? Is that an actual thing? Because that's hilarious. Alright, walk softly. Let's do this. Is that a wig, or do lizard men actually have hair? It's not hair. It's like spikes. They're like quills, basically. Argonians have like various types of head crests. Or oh, those could be feathers that are decorative. They do look like feathers, don't they? That are probably just like glued to his head or something? I don't know. But no, they don't have hair. They have different kinds of crests or fins or spikes or whatever on their heads. I'm about to start getting fucked up by some spiders. That'll be good. No, I'll destroy these spiders with great prejudice. Except I hate when they suddenly, like, drop down on you. That's the worst. That's why I've used quotation marks.
Did I mention I'm afraid of spiders? Probably should have mentioned. I'll keep it under control.
You will. I had an experience when I was a kid. I'm not sure how old I was at the time, but I was pretty young. My mom was deathly afraid of spiders, and still is. And she used to talk about it frequently. And we used to have black widows around our house. And my mom, like, told me over and over how dangerous they were and how I should watch out for them, and if I saw one, I should get away and not be anywhere near it, and how black widow, if it bites you, you will die. This is what my mother taught me as a child. And it may even be true in some cases. So this was my feeling about black widows, and I had been taught how to identify them. So I'm at the park. Some park. I don't know what park it was, but I'm at a park playing without any kind of parent supervisual. Okay. What am I trying to say? Parent supervision. Without any kind of parental supervision. That's what I was trying to say. Without that, I'm just there by myself, you know, with other kids and shit. And there's these pipes there. And I don't know what the pipes were for. But they're big pipes. I mean, big enough for children to crawl through them. Not big enough probably for...
Look, a crypt. Nothing bad ever happens in a crypt.
Right. Did Walk Softly just fucking disappear? Okay. So I'm crawling through these, and they're dark, and they're very tight space, so you can just barely crawl through there. I don't know why we were crawling through these pipes. Just sounded fun, I guess. We wanted to see where the pipes went. So I'm crawling through, and realize at this point that my arms are kind of partially trapped under my body. I can't move around very much because I'm crawling through a pipe. So this fucking Black Widow spider drops down on its little string of webbing right in front of my face, and then fucking, like, attaches itself to my fucking forehead. And I couldn't reach up there to knock it away or anything, so I just started swinging my head back and forth all crazy. I thought I was gonna die, and I started crawling backwards out through the pipes as quick as I can. I don't know what the spider did. I guess it just jumped off or fell off or something. It didn't bite me, but it freaked me the fuck out as a kid. It freaked me the fuck out. I was like, oh my god, never crawling through anything ever again. never crawling through anything ever again, and fuck you, spiders. We are now enemies for the rest of my life. If I see a spider, it dies. So that's my story about spiders. Crawled through some pipes and then you whipped your hair back and forth. Sure. We can say that's what I'm saying. Draugr? Now that I didn't expect to suddenly run into. I thought there'd be some obnoxious spiders. I didn't know I was about to fucking fight some Draugr like I'm in Skyrim. That's pretty cool. I mean, I could just avoid them because I'm super sneak, but... Do you think avoiding them is how I roll? You have not been watching enough of my stuff. Alright, Draugrs. This guy's got his back to Alright, fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it. Fuck 'em. Black widows aren't actually that deadly. Well, would they have been actually deadly to like an 8-year-old child or however old I was at the time? Man, I was scared. That is one of the scariest things that ever happened to me as a kid. Alright, this guy wants it. Oh, I see there's two of yous. Guy wants to have an archery contest. Do this. You lose. What the fuck did he just throw at me? Who throws a shoe? Seriously. They have a painful bite, but as far as I'm aware, it's rare they cause permanent damage, much less death. An 8-year-old getting bitten on the head might have been a bit more concerning. I have to look up the LD50 to tell you if we're really at risk. For a little while, I was going through this phase in my life where I was all about ahimsa, which is like the Indian religion way of saying non-violence. And I was all into this because I was all into yoga and meditation and all that stuff. So I was like, I will not kill any living creature, right? So I went through that for a little while. Hey, Nox, have a good night. Thanks for coming by. We will see you next time. So I was like, I will not kill any living creature. And right, so then for a while I wouldn't even kill bugs, I wouldn't kill spiders, nothing. And I would take them and I would move them somewhere away from me, out of my place where I was, but I wouldn't kill them. Then I got sick of that. And I didn't know. We're going back to killing.
On the bright side, these only have 4 limbs.
Does that translate as hypocrisy to English? Yeah, basically. Well, I mean, I wasn't being hypocritical at the time. I genuinely believed it and was quite sincere. And obviously, Saito, of course you're constantly killing living things, but that's, you can't do anything about that. We're talking about intentional killing of a living thing. And I was a vegan at the time as well, so I wasn't even eating any animals. And I guess by a living thing, it really didn't include plants. It was pretty much just like multi-sensory organisms. Draugr Savage. Not to be Draugr Savaged up. That doesn't make sense, Josiah. I know. Sense-making cop. Thanks for all your help here, but walk softly. I appreciate that. Animals. You need animals. I don't really remember what the arguments... I mean, I was working off, like, literature that I'd received from various organizations. I don't remember really what the arguments were for why it's all cool to fuck up plants but not animals. But at the time I knew the arguments and they made sense to me. Gotta get him with the sneak attack. Walk softly is definitely no Quen. Yeah, he is a little bit fucking useless. Of course, Quen was useless too. She didn't do anything to help me. Seriously? I'm in agony. Walk softly, not helps with zombies. Proven once again, Quen equals useless. Thank you, Anonymous. Thank you. Anonymous knows what's up. Going through a Draugr cave. There's some spiders. Okay. I wonder if I can creep on this dude and get him with a sneak attack. And I fell asleep. Takes a thief. Oh yeah. Success. Crap on him. Crap on him. Alright. I see you have your back to me. That's going to be your undoing.
Stay away from the pointy bits.
Is he doing something, or is he just waving his torch around? Like a jackass. He's not doing shit. Saito's love for Quen is like on some otherkin level. Oh, damn. That's a motherfucker right there. Let's hold off 1 second.
It's these two. Or me. Us. Let's share the blame.
Alright, so... Oh. Look at this guy. I think somebody wants to have an archery contest. Somebody's looking for a showdown. I win. I got a lockpick out of the urn. Alright, let's go kill this giant spider. Who has a name? Who gave this spider a name? Or is this like an intelligent spider like Shelob? Oh, and there's a bunch of hatchlings in there. Good, good. If Sato identifies as Quenken, you can break Canadian laws by not... What laws? What laws? Are there actual laws for those people? God damn it.
Are we running? No? All right then.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to act up? Gas fucking spider. Ain't no match. How much would you say you weighed as a child? Fuck if I know. I can't even remember how old I was, let alone what I weighed. More than a typical child of whatever age I was, because I was a little fat kid. Why does that hatchling have 31,000 health? Also, where's my treasure? I defeated a boss.
Follow me. We're almost there.
I'll be right with you, bro. I gotta look around in here for the nothing that isn't here. Oh, this looks promising. Here comes the discussion of hit point abstractions. And I think I wrote a fantastic post, a long post, on the topic of hit point abstractions on EN World. It's gotta still be there.
All right. You're greener than my favorite vest.
It's fine. I'm fine.
Gwen's either gonna die, or she's gonna betray us, or she's gonna get betrayed by him. I can't tell which. Gwen stole a boat, as promised. We should escape Volstrom Homestead before the Iron Wheel catches on. Okay. Well, let's talk to Walk Softly some more.
Could have lived my entire life without running through a spider pit. But we made it through. You'll make a real impression in Abba's Landing.
What's in Abba's Landing?
The Thieves Guild. And my guildmaster, who can explain why the Iron Wheel thinks you deserve the same fate they've inflicted upon us. It's an unpleasant fate. It involves branding irons.
What if I don't want to go to Abba's Landing?
You are your own master, but the Iron Wheel is relentless, and they know your face. They know your partner's face, too. So, tell me where we're all headed? I suggest Abba's Landing as soon as you're able.
Alright, take us to Abba's Landing. Wait, Not yet.
That didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. I suppose that's the point of being a thief, isn't it? I'm just glad we're alive and free. Unless the Iron Wheel finds us. We should be going, shouldn't we? Let's get going.
Goodbye. One can never tell with these things. Sato says I would have been fine if I'd been bit on the head by a Black Widow. So that's good. That's good. I didn't narrowly escape death then, that time. We're going to a spot with a great many weighted plastic bags on the sea bottom, aren't we? Right? Okay.
Could have lived my entire life without running through a spider pit. You are your own master.
Take us to a
But
boss
the Iron
landing.
Wheel is relentless.
Hughes Bane. During the early days of Ragada, Prince Ubalajad claimed this Hammerfell Peninsula for his own. When all his ambitious endeavors ended in failure, the region acquired the nickname Hughes Bane, and it stuck. Oh, this place looks cool. Hammerfell. Deserts. Crime. Some of my favorite things. One sec, BRB. You're gonna be gone when Quen dies. Jackal added to non-combat pets. What? Talk to the guildmaster in the Thieves Den. Oh, this place looks dope! I love this kind of architecture. Jackal of Tamriel is called by some the Thieves' Dog, because it's quick to sniff out sources of food and clever enough to figure out how to get at them. Once tamed, they serve as loyal companions. Oh, look at my little jackal. It's lovely. I get his jackal just for showing up here. Okay. Time to go away, jackal. They have magic carpets in Hammerfell? I don't know. I've never heard of them having anything like that. But, what do I know? No, why would you even? Let me up on there. Thanks. Alright. Apparently it's not gonna let me jump in that fucking boat. Or it will. That's another option. Alright.
When you're up to it, we'll head to the Thieves' Den. It's in an old cistern.
Oh, a cistern. Wonderful. I'm to be surrounded by water everywhere I go.
Useless Quen complaining. I should speak with the guildmaster of the Abaz Landing Thieves Guild. Perhaps I can get some answers. Walk softly mentioned a thieves' den. I don't see a point of pseudo-Middle Eastern settings without magical carpets. It's hotter than hot in a lot of good ways. Didn't really get that much loot out of that little heist. And I'll probably get paid some pathetically small amount of money for my part in it. Like, here's 200 gold. Have fun with that. Alright. We're gonna talk with Quen and walk softly some more in our next episode. That is going to do it for this one, however. So, if you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere. I'm not done playing. If you're watching on YouTube, this episode is now over. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays The Elder Scrolls Online Thieves Guild DLC.